Hi, good morning. Welcome to another episode of the Bibles and Bonnets podcast. I am your host, Princess. Um, on the last episode, that was our meet and greet. We talked about some things. I introduced myself. I gave you a little bit of background um, of where I was at and what I'm doing in this journey. Um, Today, I'm coming to you as I am. Bonnet, pajamas, blanket. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, y'all. Part of the reason for this attire and the title for the podcast, Bibles and Bonnets, is to come as you are. Lots of times I think, for me anyways, I always felt like I had to go to God a certain way. And when I talk to um, a lot of people feel the same way. They want to straighten some things out before they go to God. They want to do some things their way before they go to God. And God says, come to me as you are. So here I am. Don't be talking no mess. We friends now, okay? You gonna see me in my bonnet. You gonna see me in my pajamas. You gonna see me with my blanket. There's gonna be some times that you're gonna see me the way that you saw me in the last episode too. But the point of it is to come as you are. So let's go ahead and get started. I was reading in Matthew chapter 12, verses 43 through 45. And it reads, I'm reading out of the NLT version. When an evil spirit leaves a person, it goes into the desert, seeking rest, but finding none. Then it says, I will return to the person I came from. So it returns and finds its former home empty, swept, and in order. Then the spirit finds 7 other spirits more evil than itself, and they all enter the person and live there. And so that person is worse off than before. That will be the experience of this evil generation. And so when I read that, I immediately thought about myself and how there was a time when I found it very, very challenging to release things to God and surrender and give them to Him. And I think most of that is because we don't want to go to God the way that we are. We want to go to God dressed up. We don't want to need God. And that's where the challenge happens, y'all. I'll give you an example. I was willing and dealing with somebody, and I was not strong enough to let this person go. None of us are honestly strong enough to let go of our sins. That's why we have to call upon the Lord. So, because I didn't call upon God, because I didn't want to go to God the way that I was, I got tired, I struggled, I was not able to get rid of him on my own. I had to call on the strength of the Lord. And the same is with addiction, cussing, listening to secular music, letting friends go, forgiving, whatever the case is, we have to give those sins to God. So what happened was I ended up giving it to God, y'all. I finally got tired. I dropped to my knees. I said, hey, God, take this, have this. I surrender this man to you. I surrender this sin to you. I don't want to do it anymore. I can't do it. I don't have the strength to do it. So what happened after that was temptation came knocking at my door. So the Bible doesn't say that we're not going to be tempted anymore. Jesus was tempted by the devil. And what did he do? He called on his Father. He called on the Lord whenever he was tempted. The mistake that I made was I didn't call on God. What I did was I thought that Princess could handle it. And Princess can't handle it because Princess isn't strong enough. So what happened was I gave in to the temptation. I was like, man, I need validation. I need attention. I want to be held. I want to feel like somebody loves me in this moment. I done got lonely. I don't know what to do. and I gave into the temptation. And so what happens is, once you are fully delivered, and I'm talking, y'all, I was fully delivered. There was such a big sigh of relief in me once I was delivered. Like, I felt it. You'll just know. You'll feel lighter. You'll feel peace within your heart, within your spirit. Okay. I didn't have to call him no more. He didn't call me no more. But what happens is, when you start to walk into a new space, your body and your mind is gonna want to do what it's used to doing. So in that moment, in those moments, my body and my mind was used to calling him, but my spirit was like, okay, girl, nah, we ain't gonna do that. But what happened was, when the temptation came knocking at my door, I didn't know what to do with it. So, like I said, I went on ahead and I gave into it. But God had already won that battle for me. He had already won, and I felt it. I felt the victory, y'all. I knew that he won. I felt it. I'm like, all right, bet, we won. Now the devil mad. He mad. He outside waiting to catch me slipping, basically. And he then brought his homies. He brought his homies because he felt like he got beat up. So, one, he's salty. You know what I'm saying? He can't believe he didn't got beat up, because he didn't even think that I would win the fight. But I only won because I called on the Lord. But then he said, hold up. I can look at her and I could tell she ain't calling God every day. She's not calling God every day. She called him, they won, and now she think everything is cool. That's not how it works, y'all. So now that the devil is outside waiting for me with his friends, because he know that he got to come back stronger and harder this time, when it's time for me to go outside and I'm not armed, when I didn't call on my Father, when I didn't call on the one that fights my battles for me, now I done got whooped on. Now I done got beat up. Now it turned into me giving into a little bit of temptation. Now I done got beat up because I done opened the door and they didn't all bum rush me. So now it's harder for me to fight. It's harder for me to even go to God, because now I'm like, ooh, you helped me the last time with this. We didn't already beat him up. Now I gotta call you back again because I done got caught slipping. And that's really how it goes, y'all. When we get fully delivered from something that we've given to God, and temptation comes knocking at our door, and we don't call on our Father right then and there in that moment, and we allow that portal to be open, and for the enemy to come with all of his other friends, all of his other demons, we're gonna get whooped on even worse. We're gonna get whooped on even worse, and we're gonna feel terrible, and it's gonna be harder to beat them off of us. So that's why it's so important that in those moments when you feel temptation, call on the name of the Lord. He's the only one that can help you. You can only win in his strength. You cannot do it on your own. That's basically all I got today. Remember, take that with you, y'all. Whenever you are facing challenges, whenever you're being challenged by temptations, by worldly things, by things that you have already given to God, or maybe you haven't given it to God, give it to God. Just simply say, Lord, this is bigger than me. I don't have the strength for this. I need you to help me through this, and I surrender it to you. And do that again and again and again daily. I love y'all so much. Have a great day. I will see y'all next time on the next episode of Bibles and Bonnets. Bye.